MKJ in that order. Um, so we'll go like that. After MKJ, let me call the full queue. We'll take the first. After the first, we would have Mr. Kolade. So, Happiness, good afternoon and welcome to the conversation today.
Good afternoon, our erudite, you say, Master Lenesi. I greet you plenty. I borrow your words. Um, um, Good afternoon, host and the co-host. I greet everybody. Oh, brother Jimmy, Twali Papa. Anka did I greet you. So now, Tinubu disqualification. Many reasons, many reasons. I don't know if people remember the case of Salisu Buhari of fake certificate, which cost him his what is it? He was a Speaker of House of Representatives, but when the case came up, he had to lose that position, and on top of that, he was in prison. He was sent to prison for 2 years. So certificate forgery in Nigeria is big offense. And Tinubu Chicago certificate, we know what it is. That is certificate forgery. There's a precedent. Now, that is number one to disqualify him. Number two is that we don't even know his real name. Amode, whatever, Bola. And the other day we were on Spaces where Jimmy and the anti-Bolonde was helping us. Because there's nothing in Yoruba name that is Bola. Nobody will give his child Bola. It's not complete name. So where is the remaining name? Because the Bola itself is not a complete name in Yoruba. So now, there was one man that lost his position also, Senate President, which gave Chide Okadibo to take over. His name was spelled Evans, in other place Evans. Because of these discrepancies, he lost his position. So how much more Tinubu? So he should be disqualified because his age discrepancy, 1953, 1954, is not adding up. So we cannot have such kind of character at the helm of affairs. So that one is on that aspect. When you look at it from his NYSC exemption certificate, I don't know whether we have the true copy. It's very important that he has to be disqualified. The only thing the judiciary need to do is, like the gentleman said earlier, is to wash Pontius Pilate's hand. You understand? Because the politicians have mastered it. Because the other day I was checking. You could not believe it. Our judges are receiving as low as 250K or 250 something K. Some receiving at 160 something K salary in Nigeria, whereby politicians who are less educated, who do the less job, are receiving huge amount of money. So it's now the judiciary should exonerate themselves. You understand? Because instead of them being an appendage of the executive, of the politician, it's now for them to declare their own independence by ruling the case based on its merit, not doing favor to anybody. You understand? So that the pathway to judicial independence will start with this case. They have to exonerate themselves. They should not be an accomplice to whatever the politicians have done. This is the beginning. But if they fail, I need not to tell you, because the status quo is something that is obsolete. It has to be do away with. The status quo cannot continue. Jimmy made mention of conformity experiment. It will not work. Nobody will conform on this old order. We move forward, and anybody that wants to bring us back, brother, we are moving through, we'll crush them. You know, we are waiting to see what the court will do. But there is nothing anybody can do to change what we know, because we know we won the election, we did not lose. Even though based on that election we won, the character we are talking about is another issue. This man drug this and certificate forgery, money laundering, alpha beta, converting Lagos state assets to his private. Don't worry, I don't want to go to that rabbit hole. Thank you so much. I wish you all the very good day.
Thank you very much, my brother. Happiness. I always knew you and your style for listing everything. Number one, number two. Thank you so much. Of course, There are tons of reasons why this man should be disqualified, and we'll be hearing it, and the judiciary will be continue keeping our eyes on them to see if they are listening, if they are actually going to do the right thing. I want to welcome all the shopkeepers. Uncle Akaji, welcome. Ungazi is already on. Anka Dede, Mr. Tony is here, of course. Thank you guys for being here also, and all our regulars, all the loved ones, all the 1 million man match crew. When we dey even talk about 1 million man match crew, sef, it's not just the people who are at the back channel, because you guys are the one that truly come out to organize all the matches and are a part of the match. So all of them are follow for the team. Thank you for being here. Remember to retweet. We are still trying to make sure that this one MMC handle, gets all the crowd that it can get. We are a 1 million man, we are a 1 million match crew. So we are supposed to have our followers in millions, of course. So thank you for being here. Do well to share the space so that we can get more people out here. So back to the list. MKJ, good afternoon and welcome. MKJ, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone on the space. I thank you all for your tenacity and steadfastness, and I believe that if we keep up the pressure on them, eventually we would get what rightfully belongs to us. That's our mandate. Please, UC Maxwell, I want to ask a very, very specific question. As far as precedents, setting precedents in law is concerned, please. And my question will be tied to about 2 or 3 things in our prayers. Number one, what happiness, just some of the points that happiness raised concerning the forgery, the what's it called, the forgery and change of names in this Agbado's this thing, certificate and the rest, all have precedences. Talk about the Evans Ewerem case. Talk about the Salisu Buhari's case. Talk about so many precedences. My question is it a normal practice in law that once a precedent is set over time, it can be changed just because the justices feel like, or in their own volition, not following the law now, they just feel, okay, there has to be a change this time and we need to change this thing. For instance, on my own, I took my time, I googled 2003 presidential election results, and I sat down on my own. I got all the numbers. APC, Buhari, is it CPC now or MPP, and Obasanjo. I took my time to get all the numbers, what they scored, and I did the calculation. Who scored what? From my calculation, Obasanjo scored 25% in 31 states. He actually won over 20-something states out there about. He scored 25% in 31 states. Then, including, if you now had Abuja, that makes it 32. Buhari scored 25% in 17 states. If you now add Abuja to it, that's 18 states. Now, in the wisdom of the justices back then, because Buhari took the case to court and said, Obasanjo cannot be president. He was wrongfully declared president, so because he did not win Abuja. And in their wisdom, they said no. Even though he has won 31 states, listen, he has won 31 states. He only needed 25% in Abuja. Now, mind you, he has gotten 31 states already. He only needed 25% in Abuja to be declared president. So he was rightfully declared president. Now they are bringing up an argument that you don't need to win 25% in Abuja as long as you score over maybe like 25% in 25 states, or maybe beyond 25. If you score 25% in 25 states or more, I believe from their kangaroo and nonsense this thing election that they did, this Agbado man scored 25%, I think, in 27 states. He didn't score 25% in Abuja. Now, if you look at it, if you now bring it side by side with what the court pronounced back then, the court used their wisdom to tell us that it is, you only need 25%, even though you have crossed the threshold of 25% in 24 states, that's 2/3 of 36 states, you've crossed it already. You still need 25% in Abuja, in their wisdom. The same thing happened in Buhari Yaradua's case. Now, given all this, is it just possible for the lawyers and for the justices to come up and say it is no longer that? Given that it has been, the judgment has been given and it has now become a part of our law, can they just come up and say, no, it is not so again? What are the reasons? What would the reason would they now, ascribe to this? And also some of the cases that we mentioned now, like Salisu Buhari's case, like Ewerem's case, that you can tie to some of these things. Is it possible? Is it a possibility? Please, I need you to please expound on this, please. Thank you very much. I yield.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, MKJ. Your questions, or your question, is a very, very simple question. Please, whose mic is on? Distinguished, your mic is on. Can you turn
My
it off?
mic is not on. I actually just unmuted to speak. My mic is in, and there's not even anyone around me. I don't know whose mic is on, but
Okay. Okay. I was getting some sort of feedback. All right. Thank you. So, so to your question, where a judgment has been given by a higher court, Nigeria practices a particular kind of judicial system where we stand by precedents, where we stand by, previous judgments of the court. And the only time that a court may decide to overrule itself, that is the Supreme Court. It can even not overrule itself in the same case, but in a subsequent case. But when it can do that is where it finds that the findings of the Supreme Court in that case was resulted by error. That is, the judgment was delivered in error without making due reference to the correct provisions of the law, or they did not make due reference to the extant laws. That means, for instance, there is a law in 2023 and the court went and referred to a 2019 law in that same regard and gave judgment. So these are instances, or for places or for reasons of public policy, but it must relate to the fact that the Supreme Court was in error when it gave that particular judgment. So these are the instances where the Supreme Court can overturn itself in a subsequent case. So the question to ask is, the one before that we have before us, was there any error in judgment? There is absolutely no error in judgment, because it is foundational. It is a founded principle of law that nobody who has these kinds of baggage should be allowed. Anybody who has submitted a forged certificate to INEC should not be allowed to hold the seat of House of Assembly, that is State Houses of Assembly, National Assembly, be it the Senate or House of Reps, Governor or Deputy Governor, and then President or Vice President. It is foundational in law. So that's it. Thank you for your question, MKJ. I believe that you've been cleared with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, please, can I have
All right. All right.
Can I just add something?
Okay. Quickly.
Please, very in just 10 seconds. Please, Peter is better. I understand that we want the judiciary to do the best thing. Please, we can't be begging them at this point. We should not beg them. They have all the facts before them. Let them do what the facts reflect. We can't beg them to do the right thing again. We can't even say please. We have everything before them. Thank you very much.
right. Thank you. I believe that you are done, even though you were cut off abruptly. Thank you. So we move to Mr. Kolade has dropped off. I believe some network issues, but we'll have him back. So we'll move to the first. The first. Good afternoon and welcome to the conversation.
Good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes,
First of all, I want to say good afternoon to everyone and to the organizers of this day. Thank you.
Are you using some sort of Bluetooth device? And there's a background noise. There's a lot of background noise. The first, please, when you sort that out, you can raise up your hand and then we'll pass the mic to you. So we'll move forward. Distinguished, good afternoon and welcome to the platform. It's a pleasure to have you here. You have the mic.
Oh, hi, UC Maxwell. Everyone was muted. I was trying to speak. How's everyone doing? Good morning. Good afternoon. How's it going? This sudden change in direction that we had about certain people asking for a rerun, we reject it. I reject it. Every well-meaning Nigerian should reject it on the internet, on the street, everywhere. We do not want a rerun. That is not why we are here. And whoever that is asking for a rerun must first let us know if Tinubu was qualified to be on the ballot in the first place. I think we even have to stop even asking about 25% anymore because it's not even relevant. If you are not qualified to be on the ballot, it doesn't even matter whether you made 25% or not. The argument is still the same thing. Tinubu should not have been on the ballot. And the constitution is clear on that. Tinubu, is a criminal. He forfeited money, criminal forfeiture. And the constitution says you cannot run for office if you have a criminal case. Tinubu forged documents. Perjury is a serious offense. It's a serious crime in every part of the world. So whether he made 25% or whether he was at 23.9%, it doesn't even matter anymore. He should not have been on the ballot in the first place. And also, I know that the judiciary, some of them are on the internet, they are on Twitter, they are on Facebook, listening quietly to some of these big spaces. They listen, they read, they go. And it's important that we continue to feed them with facts because there's something called court of public opinion. If you log on to the internet and the first thing you hear or the first thing you read is facts about the case, then it somehow shapes how you're going to think going forward. And that is important that everyone at every opportunity should remind them that we do not want a rerun. And we do not, that is not, Peter Obi won the case and he has proven it in court. INEC failed to prove it. INEC could not prove how Tinubu won the election. They could not even bring witnesses to come and prove this case. APC and Tinubu's lawyers could not prove how he won. The numbers don't match. The results were not uploaded on IRES. These are clear facts that anyone, any well-meaning Nigerian can spend time on. And we cannot carry on with a system that keeps forgiving. Tinubu has evaded justice for as much as he can. He has evaded the law. Any little time, whenever they send him to court, something happens, and then he continues. And that is what has emboldened him. That's why he feels that he's untouchable. But not anymore. Not this time. Not this time. If you're related to the judiciary, your uncle, your father is a judge, your brother, even if you're a gate man to the judge, tell your boss that we do not want a rerun. We are not here because Tinubu won the election. Tinubu should not have been on the ballot in the first place. Atiku Abubakar did not meet 25%. The only people who should be having this conversation is between Peter Obi and Atiku. And when you put both of them together, Atiku did not win 25% of votes in Abuja, in FCT. And there's no way he can be made the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi won. Peter Obi's vote shows that Peter Obi's votes were stolen. They were stolen and added to Tinubu's votes. And we saw it. We saw it. I can count right at the top of my head. River State votes were stolen and given to Tinubu. That's just one out of many. And people have proven it. Even international communities have proven it. So when you have issues like that, it brings up the question, why should we allow somebody who should not have even been on the ballot to be the president of Nigeria? I don't care if he has started working, if he has signed documents, if he has ministers, if he was made ECOWAS, whatever. He is not qualified to be the president of Nigeria. And lastly, I just put up a couple of questions which everyone should be asking. It's not a matter of whether you like Tinubu or not. My questions are, did Tinubu win majority of votes in 36 states? Yes or no? It's a straightforward question. Did Tinubu win at least 25% of votes in FCT? Yes or no? Where are the election results to prove this? We have not seen any. I have not seen any. I don't know if you guys can see it on IREV. I can't see anything. Are they on IREV like INEC promised? Did INEC upload the results with the beavers as promised? Did a glitch happen, or did INEC deliberately prevented the uploading of presidential election results on February 25th? These are all straightforward questions. Did the glitch also affect the House of Representatives results too? Because that's the part we keep forgetting. This glitch only happened when it came to Peter Obi's election, but it did not happen for other people. Did the glitch also affect the House of Representatives? That's what we need to know. Does the Constitution allow a candidate with a conviction to run for president? Does the Constitution allow a candidate with forged results to be on the ballot? Does the Constitution permit double nomination? Did Tinubu forfeit $460,000 to the U.S. court or not? Was Tinubu investigated for narcotics alongside Abiodun Agbele and Muiza Konde or not? So if you can answer 3 of these questions, then maybe we can have more conversation. But if your answers are no, then there's nothing to rerun. Disqualify the man and let us move on with our day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. The general, okay, the field marshal. Thank you so much for your submission, and that was spot on. I asked this question in our Black channel yesterday, Anchor Day, if you can remember. Did he forge certificate or not? Was he involved in narcotic dealings or not? Those are the questions. So the issue of rerun, it doesn't even hold any water. Do we now say it doesn't matter if someone has a forged certificate or someone has a narcotic dealing or fraud? A fraudulent person cannot be our president. So when people say rerun, come with the propaganda of rerun, we should all know that it's an APC thing, and we should not even engage those people. Thank you so much. And let's have, I'm not sure, UC Maxwell, if you remember who is going next. Mr. Colette dropped off, so I don't know. Emily, I'll just take Emily.
I'm
sorry.
I'm done with the, no problem. You can create another queue. I was done with the earlier queue, which I created, so we'll proceed from there.
Yeah, I remember I called Joe Paul, though, but please be patient. Let's have Emily.
It's Emily.
Yeah. Okay, then please go on. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Kandek. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are stressing from. Good day, UC Maxwell, 1 million marshals, the General Oluchi, my sister. God bless you. Love what you're doing. Good day, Jimmy. Oga Jimmy. God bless you. You're here. Thank you, Jopo. Oga Akaji. God bless you. Love you. Thank you for all you guys are doing, and every single one of you in this place, whether obedient, Agbado, or I greet you. I just want us all to, know the right thing, listen to the people who come on this platform and all the people who are hosting, doing their best, their bits for the country. We are all fighting for one Nigeria, a better country for us all and our unborn children and the new generation. Thank you. God bless every one of you for being here. I just want to talk about what General Oluchi just said. Yeah, that's very, very, very important. There's no need for me to go over what she has just said. We should all go on, follow that path and try to retweet all the stuff that, she's put out there. Excuse me. If we can get someone, actually, General Oluchi, if you can help us, I know you've been putting it, so I retweet every of your tweet, but if we just list all these as maybe a hashtag or something, and try to make it go viral. So we make it as a duty for every obedient, hopefully everyone here obedient and other people in other platform, just retweet it every morning. If we can do up to 5, 6, 10 times a day, to make it go viral. Just all the things, the reason why. I know we're talking about it, like we say, all the many reasons why this evil, narcotic, narcissist, criminal, evil man cannot be president of Nigeria, and we do not want that our word, that our whatever they call it, because we don't want to give them that energy or oxygen. Yeah, that would be really, really helpful. I think it would be a lot easier. A lot of people don't, can't really put it together what to say. But if we have that outlined and then we retweet it, please, that is number one. So I won't go over what you just said. Thank you for spacing it out like that and letting everyone know. And every single one of us here, we should remember that we are fighting for country, for all of us. A lot of people passionate about our country, like, General or 1 Million March crew and Kandaki and all of UC Maxwell and all the rest of them, Jimmy and Odakalade and Akaji. We are all fighting for good Nigeria. They are fighting for good Nigeria. They're putting their voice, they're putting their resources, putting themselves out there. It's not because they don't have a good life. No, they want better country for every single person, especially the vulnerable in our society, to have a better life. So please let us all support them and retweet everything they put out there and engage and try to educate other people within our circle or our family and our workplaces. Coming back to my point today, actually, I was just coming from shopping this morning. It was just a very, very annoying, and I'm not going to be going to that lady's shop anymore. Unfortunately, I know many of my Yoruba brothers and sisters here are not tribalistic. They voted for P2B. We all want better Nigeria. But I went to this lady's shop who have been buying stuff from Nigerian food all these years. And she had the guts to tell me that this evil man is working. And I said, what is he working? She said, oh, he's working, that we should just let go. In the life of me, I never knew this woman is such a tribalistic person. And she told me, oh, he's working, everything's working perfect. I said, so can you name one other things that are working? She was just standing there telling me, yeah, everything's working. She just keeps saying everything's working. I said, are you telling me about the taxes, raised taxes, or what are you actually saying? She couldn't give me any point. And then she came forward, she said, oh, by the way, there's no mandate stolen, that this man, won this place. I said, can you name the places? She wouldn't. So I started engaging with her and telling her where the places where P2B have won, all the places, south, east, giving her figures. And, and then I asked her one question. I said, excuse me, if I come to your house and steal your car, would you let go and say, oh, because I'm taking care of your car, maintaining your car, that you tell the police to let that car be with me? And she just stood there with her mouth wide open. She wouldn't say a word. I said, that's exactly how I feel. I said, and to make it worse, this Tinubu did not win the election. He's not qualified. I gave out the reason, the forfeitures, all the lists that General Oluchi has just mentioned. I mentioned every single one of them to her. She would just stand there. All she says is he is working. He is working. We should just let go. He is working. I was so angry. I almost got ticket where I parked because I was engaging this woman. And that's all they've been saying in their APC group. Honestly, because the way she spoke, it's like, these people, nothing goes in. You're just talking to someone and they're just telling you someone's working. What actually, I would like them to tell me, or somebody, what is this man doing that is working in Nigeria? It's so, I'm so angry. Honestly, she just made me lost my appetite today. And I was just so angry. My stomach was so painful that I tried to engage this woman and she just kept telling me he's working. We should just let go. That it's been done. It's been dusted. That no one's going to change the mandate. That's what it's going to be like. Oh, and then she went, one comment she made, oh, so you mean you get your mandate after 8 years? I felt like slapping her. Honestly, I'm sorry. I know it's violent. I felt like just engaging this woman with a big slap. I just looked at her and I walked out, and I promised myself I will not enter her shop again. Even if I can't find anywhere to buy food, I will buy online if I can. So that's the mentality. That's what all these people, that's why they keep, some people are thinking about rerun. She didn't even mention about that rerun, God forbid. But this is the mentality that they've been educated or been enlightened with this rubbish, even though she lives in diaspora and she's having good governance everywhere. And I asked her about the road that she's, I remember one thing where we should make it known. Yusuf Maswa, I know you've educated us enough on that aspect of she mentioned P2B. They found one thing on P2B. I said, what is that? She said about P2B being in PDP. He didn't leave PDP totally. I think this is all the thing APC people has been going around in their platform telling their members or supporters to keep telling people that P2B never left PDP. Anyway, that was my experience this morning, and I am so angry. Sorry, guys. I just thought there's nowhere else I can just say all these things. I'll get this off my chest, get my anger in control. I was so angry, to be honest. But this is Nigeria for you. This is what we're fighting for. We need to get people to change people's mindset, honestly, because it looks like most of us, especially the APC supporters, they love their oppressors. I see no reason why people will be enjoying good governance, good healthcare, and all that in diaspora, and yet they want this man that can't even don't even recognize himself, don't even know who he is, except with with medication to keep him going, prompting to be up all day or half day to showcase like he's human. Yes, he is human, but that man is far gone. He's even worse than Biden, to be honest. I'm sorry if you're a Biden supporter, but that is Nigeria for you. But I just want us to reflect on, on what's happening and also reflect on what we are doing with our lives as Nigerians. I just want us to think, are we that powerless, that even when we have a chance to change, to push back on these horrible, evil people, the government, that we just can't, we just go back in our shell? Like, are we happy being oppressed? Are we happy for Nigeria to be a crime scene? Are we happy for these evil politicians to carry out their wickedness, and then we as Nigerians are just looking at them like zombies that can't even suck blood? I'm not encouraging violence. I'm not encouraging, any bad thing, to happen, for us to do stuff. But we need to push back. We need to find a way to push back when the time is right. But before the time is right, the pushback we have now is, like General Oluchi said, keep retweeting, keep asking this question. We need to form this public opinion that she talked about. Please, my people, we have this one opportunity to push back. We shouldn't let go. The Arab Spring, remember, people, we have to fight for ourselves. Whichever way we can do it, please, let us all come together, because united, we can defeat these evil people. They are just 1%. Remember, just 1%, including the APC supporters. 1% of these evil people are oppressing us, and we need to get off our seat and fight for our life and the lives of our children and unborn generation. That is my contribution for now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Uncle Akaji's special niece, Emily. Thank you for your submission. Jimmy, good morning. Joe Paul, after Joe Paul, we'll take Mr. Kolade. Yeah. Thank you so much. And guys, please share the space and share our YouTube channel and live Facebook Live so that people can join in from that handle. Thank you so much. Joe Paul, are you there? Okay. Let's have Mr. Kolade if Joe Paul is not ready. Okay, go on, please. Yeah, go on. Go on, before you bite my ear.
Say your ear is very vulnerable to my mouth anyway. Thank God for choosing the path of defense than coming to come and make yourself vulnerable. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone across Nigeria, across the globe. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Over here in the city of Calabar, I think it's a bit sunny. It started with light showers in the morning, but now we have some sun, and at least we can breathe very well. I just came out from my normal routine from my job, the radio station, where we talk about the political development and the happenings in the country. And there are a lot of things that over time, for about a month now, that I have carefully observed, and I have been able to see that I think we need to begin to re-strategize. One is the fact that it has come to my notice with fact that the knowledge of a lot of people that keyed into the obedient ideology out there are now completely in oblivion of the happenings, what is in court and all of that. Reasons being that the harsh economic reality in this country now has made a lot of people unable to even buy data to put in their phones. So to be able to access and download even audio and videos on WhatsApp, if you send it to some of these persons, it's even impossible, because I have sent a lot of videos, a lot of audios to people, and I have watched for the past 1 month. They are unable to listen to it because they don't have data. So we need to look at a way of devising a means of reaching out to people again with the same vigor we did during the election. Because people need to know exactly what is happening in my program in the radio station is just 2 hours. And for you to be able to wangle your way out to be able to give details of what is happening in court is not that very possible. So, but the little we can do, I want to appeal for those that are professionals here, that are journalists, that writes, that are anchor in programs in radio and the televisions. You can look for a way to create content that will not even be understood that this is what you are trying to do, so that people can get to know about exactly what is happening in court. Because it was today that I had to explain that, even because one of the topics we discussed was Labour Party calling for preparation for a rerun, that APC is already preparing for a rerun. So I was of the opinion, by the time I explained what actually is happening in court, that how can, with evidence presented by the Labour Party Council in court, and this evidence has been admitted in court about the forged certificates, about the narcotic dealings and the forfeitures, about his inconsistency, about his NYSC, about the secondary school he said he attended, and all these things has been, admitted as evidence. First of all, in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he is not even qualified to stand elections in the first place. And I think even if there will be a rerun, Tinubu and Shetima are actually outrightly disqualified from being part of that. So we need to create a way that we will be able to get to the common man, the least of the person in the society out there. And this is my model that I think we can push this. I suggested this during the campaign, and I only saw it happening with then maybe some major languages, what is seen as the major languages in Nigeria. can what UC Maxwell is doing, can we begin to see how, for those of us that are from some other language that are not like Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, can we begin to like use our languages, get these things, push them through WhatsApp, through Facebook, through
Okay, I'm not sure where that noise was
Yeah,
coming from.
it was coming from Oladimeji. Please do not unmute your mic until you're called, because I'm going to drop you if you unmute your mic. Please. I don't want to sound rude. Please. Go on, Joe.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want a situation whereby we can do this in different languages. We in the obedient movement is complete in him who is the head of all principalities. You know, so we have people from all, I think out of the 552 gazetted languages in Nigeria, I'm very sure that none of this language that we don't have somebody that is enlightened and educated in the obedient movement. How can we harness that? We take advantage of that opportunity and those potential participating them in different languages across different ethnic languages in this country. That is number one suggestion. Number two, people are of the opinion that from the EU report that Labour Party, what is Labour Party doing and all of that. You see, Maxwell, I don't know. This is actually my small understanding of the law. Labour Party and Peter Obi cannot really go and begin to talk about that because already they are challenging the process in court, and the court process is still on. But I think that it is onions on us, the obedient movement, to do something, and this is the way I think we can do that. Among the obedient movement, we have a lot of influencers. We have people in the international and the local media here. Can we create content, people that will be able to see how we push them to CNN, BBC, have some interviews to discuss some of these things we need to make? It is the obedient movement, like he replied to
Joe Billions, you are breaking up. I'm not sure what's wrong with your network.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you now, but we had a few issues. Go on.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that, like His Excellency Peter Obi replied, okay, Bakassi, when he met with actors in the entertainment industry, that he is not going to be the one to go and defend their vote, our vote. It is us Nigerians who are running the presidency through him that should protect and defend our vote. So I am of the opinion and suggesting that since among us obedient, we have influencers, we have people that are into in journalism and the entertainment industry who are in the media, you know, across the globe, both in the international and in the local media. Can we begin to look for a way from the back end there, for those of you that are in the back office there, try to see how we arrange and see how people outside the main people that are representing Labour Party and P2B getting to grant interviews in medias and try to clear the air and get these informations pushed out there to meet everybody that need to hear what is happening in Nigeria. And finally, I want to say that in this country, a lot of things are going on that we just need to keep on talking about them. We need to keep on pushing. And as we are pushing, I must say that the results are already very visible out there. Like one of those things that I discussed today is the aspect of complacency, and that people are sacrificing their long-term career and their name, their integrity for just peanuts. it is very appalling that those in the bench, in the judiciary, will not want to do the right thing. But like I said on radio today, that before now, it is only lawyers and those that studied law that are regarded as learned colleague. But the advent and emergence of the obedient movement, the bulk of Nigerians are now learned colleagues, because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the law is at the tips of every Nigerian's finger now. We can quote portions of the Constitution and we can interpret them based on what they should be. So, which Nigeria should know, okay, like me, I should end, okay, I submit.
No, please round up. I was just telling you, like, just, round up. I'm not saying you should stop talking. Please round up.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that the judiciary, like I have always identified that this man, like I said today, my conclusion today in the radio station is that like the military were able to destroy the evidence about the vessel that was captured with stealing cruise. When you do this, you are destroying evidence and you are colluding, in the words of T.Y. Danjuma, to destroy Nigeria. Then everybody was once a civilian. No? Everybody was once an ordinary person. You are today in the bench as a judge, as a justice, as a magistrate. You will retire. The same society you are preparing now, using your office, you will retire and come back and come and meet us. You will inhabit it with us. As a military personnel, if today you are taking order from people that are not even qualified, somebody that is called the commander-in-chief, who lacks every requirement, every qualification to be a commander-in-chief, you are taking order from him. They are destroying evidence of things, because in as far as we are concerned, if they should check carefully, that vessel can be connected to either Tinubu or Tinubu boys, those that are stealing this oil. So they have to destroy it from air. Where are those ammunition to be able to target Boko Haram? So we have, because they destroyed that very vessel yesterday using airstrike to strike it. What is happening in the northeast? Can those very aircraft, military aircraft, be used to chase away the Boko Haram and bring all those that are perpetrating evil, killing Nigerians in the Middle Belt and everywhere across this country to book? So, if you are a military personnel, if you are serving in the judiciary today, whatever you are doing, you are preparing a society where your children and you yourself, after retirement, you will come and inhabit. This is the ample opportunity for the judiciary to redeem itself and be exactly what it is quoted, that the judiciary is the last hope of a common man. May that be, if at all we have men of integrity in the bench. Thank you very much, I yield.
Thank you so much, Joe Paul. We'll go with Mr. Kolade, but before then, I see the Field Marshal's hands up. Maybe she's just here to
Yes.
say some stuff. We've spoken before, so just, 2 minutes, please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was listening to the gentleman, Mr. Joe Paul. He suggested that people should make content in different languages. But we all know that Nigeria has only one unique language that we all understand, no matter where you're from, and that's Pidgin English. So instead of trying to translate in over 100 languages, I think it's better to just do in Pidgin English. Everyone in Nigeria understands Pidgin, even if they're educated or not. So maybe we can focus on that part and, make sure we get our messages across. But Pidgin we have neglected that language for too long, because maybe we want to prove that we are more educated, we can read well in Queen's English and whatnot. But Pidgin English is still our language, and that's the most important language to communicate to. Anyone can understand it, and they will definitely know what to do once they hear it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much. Jimmy, just hold on because I know that he's Basbos they are bringing here this morning. So let's have Mr. Kolade, then Jimmy, then Chimeze. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Good morning to you. To the 1 million man match crew, I salute everybody. You see, Maxwell, thank you for stepping in today. Kandaki, God bless you too. To all my comrades, I see everyone from Field Marshal, Jimmy, everybody, I see you out there. I greet everyone this morning. Okay, my own take this morning. Many reasons to disqualify bats. Yes, there are many reasons, but we need to focus on the fundamental reason. And the fundamental reason for me personally, is the fact that that is what the law of Nigeria says. That is it. That is what the law says in Nigeria. If you do X, you get Y. So then we must do X. If he had done X, he should get Y. That is why he must be disqualified. Because we know, and if there are evidence that he has contravened the law. So it's not bigger than Nigeria, it's not bigger than the law. So nothing personal, nothing sentimental. That is what the law says. And so therefore, he must be disqualified for violating the laws of our land. As simple as ABC. I want to say this because I also logged into the space this morning, and we need to be careful, especially for us obedience. And this is why I said we need to be careful. Look, the narrative, I keep hearing this narrative that, oh, there's this narrative going around that we are not playing opposition well. We are not at the stage of playing opposition. We are fighting for our mandates. They are two different things. And some people don't get it. We are not PDP. PDP have been in the system for many years. They should keep playing opposition all their life. But for us as obedience, we are fighting. We contested an election. We won. They stole it. We are in court, and we are fighting for what belongs to us. So it has nothing to do with playing opposition as it stands today. Because when I heard it this morning and people were like, oh, you're not playing opposition well, this is how you should play, this is how, I'm like, what's our own business to play in opposition at this moment? No. Anything that will allow us win our own court case, anything that will allow us get our mandate back is all we are after. As that now, when we finish that phase, then we now decide on what we want to do, as far as I am concerned, because the way people come in, we dump so much on our people. And remember, it's not everybody that has the capacity to take in too much. Once you give them too much, they get confused. They don't even know how to defend things within their own little corners. And these are the people out there in the field. So we need to simplify things for our people, to let them know that, look, what we are doing right now, at this stage where we are, is for the fact that the justices, the courts, should rule based on what the law says. And from the evidence we have, because it is now clearing that it is fact that Tinubu forfeited money. So for future in our law means it's related to a crime. It's a punishment for a crime. So therefore, it's not bigger than the law. That should apply to him. As simple as ABC. And there are other grounds too. That is all we are calling for right now. After he has been disqualified, then we are asking that the vote should be counted, should be recounted. We're giving them the calculation. Either they go with it or they recount it. And let's see who won between us and PDP. PDP automatically does not have 25% in Abuja, which is fact. But we do. So what is the difference between ourselves and PDP? I'm sure if they recount these votes, remove those that voted without using the beavers, remove the vote that was stolen from us, give us our vote back that we can prove, we are proving in court, give us all those ones back, we are ahead of PDP. So why won't you declare us winner? So my people, I have just come to say today, especially to us who have followers, who listen to us and who, please, let us help our people so that when they are hearing too many things, they don't get confused. Because as it stands today, we need to also know PDP, we are not talking about them. They are happy we are not talking about them, but they are also eyeing this, what belongs to us, indirectly or directly. They are eyeing it and they are painting a narrative. get it in their own way to say that, oh, we are not doing it. No, we are not playing opposition as that now, as far as I'm concerned. We are fighting for our mandate. That is where we are right now. After our fighting for our mandate, they will know who wants to play opposition or not. So that is what I've come to say this morning. I will keep listening. If I have any other thing, I would come up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. K. I'm sorry, my background is so noisy. I wasn't hearing anything you were saying, but I believe that, the House heard you. Thank you so much for your submission. Before Jimmy goes, I'd like to remind us about the apron. Please, anyone who is willing to support us with apron, t-shirt, caps, and we're also raising some billboards and banners in FCT and Nasarawa. Please kindly just donate or just produce and share with us so that we can share amongst everybody in FCT and Nasarawa. Thank you so much. Jimmy, please, the space is yours.
Thank you, Lamine. Thank you. How you doing, my sister? Well-meaning, UC Maxwell, Kandeki, everybody, distinguished Joe Paul, Chimeze, speakers, listeners, and well-meaning obedience on the space. I can say our uncle, father, elder brother, Mr. Badibo. Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for being part of this movement. Right. I'm going to start my submission with conformity experiment. We can't overflog it because that's exactly what is going on right now. And they're trying to make people conform to their own norms right now. And this is how it works. Conformity experiment. It was discovered back in the 50s. So what they normally do is more like peer pressure, but on a different level, on an advanced level. So what they do, how the experiment worked back then was the professor brings in 6 people into a room. So out of the 6 people, the first person goes into the room first. The first person is the victim. The remaining 5 people were actors, right? And they've told them what to do, right? They told them what to do when they get into the room. So they all get into that room. The 6th person thinking everyone there, they are together and everything. So they show them a piece of paper, a white piece of paper. And they ask them one by one. They ask the victim first, what's the color of this? Obviously, it's white. So we watching the experiment, we know it's white. And the victim says, yeah, this is white paper. Now, they ask the second person. The second person says it's black. The third person says it's black. The fourth person says it's black. The 5th person says black. The 6th one says it's black. And the victim that knows this is white will now look at those other people. And the way it's not just them saying it's black. They can be like, come on, are you blind? That one not black now. They say it in a very convincing way, and you're beginning to question yourself that maybe you have issues with your eyes. Maybe you have problem with what you're seeing. Maybe your insight is faulty. Maybe you need to even see eye optician. And they tried again. It could be maybe a different color or different shape. And if it's triangle, we all know it's triangle. They show it to the victim and he says, yeah, that's a triangle. And others, they say it's a square. And this guy looks at them and be like, okay, are you guys okay? Depending on how strong you are, depending on how you stand your ground, that's the difference between knowing what is right and what is wrong. So if you know what is right, you keep standing on your feet and say, this is what I can see. I'm not sure if it's my eye, but this is what I can see. So when that happens the second time, they try the third time. Now, the third time, this time around, is now a little bit shaky for the victim because the first experiment went wrong to him. The second one went wrong. And the third time this happens, they might ask them, is this 1 or 2? Is this 2 or 3? And we can clearly see this is 2, right? And the moment the second person says, oh yeah, this is 8, The third person says this is 8. The fourth person says this is 8. Then he start looking, and they will ask him again, "Are you sure this is 2?" And he will now say, "I think it's 8." Then everybody claps for him. He has fallen for the conformity. That is how the conformity experiment works. He has been a victim of the conformity experiment. And that is exactly what APC is doing right now. They've captured the media to let you see and let you understand what they want you to understand. They're using three different kinds of experiment on people. They're using the conformity experiment, they're using the Ngige experiment, and the learned helplessness. These three things are what they're using right now, and it's affecting people's psychic. The Ngige experiment is different, and she spoke about it. This is how it works, or how it worked back then. It was generated. It was better during Peter Obi's time as a governor in Anambra State. He won the election clean and clear, but he was rigged out of it by Ngige. Ngige took power. Peter Obi went to court. When Ngige took power, he was sworn in and he started working just the way Tinubu is doing right now. Ngige was building roads. He was doing all sort of things. He hit the ground running, as they say. It was building all different kinds of things. It was showing the people that, yeah, he has come to work. And people started approaching Peter Obi. This man is working. Oh, this is exactly what we want. So just forget about it. Maybe the next time. This man is doing exactly what you say you do. This man is doing what we want. All the things he promised, he's now doing. Let's just work together. Let us move forward as a state. That is the Ngige paradox. He was building all sorts of things in the state just to persuade the people, just to win the people's point of view. The court of people's opinion he was the number one. They were talking about him up and down. But guess what? Peter Obi didn't budge. He went to court. He presented his case. He won his mandate back. And when he did, people now started realizing that what Ngige did was bullcrap. Was nothing close to what Peter Obi had in mind. He used that to bamboozle them into accepting him and backing off Peter Obi. It was so bad. The Ngige paradox was so and it was so bad that at the point in time, people around Peter Obi, they stopped following him to the court. He was the only person going to court. Not until he reclaimed his mandate back. Not until he reclaimed what belongs to him back. They were sending all types of people to meet him. Pastors, imam, different leaders, different governors from other states. They were sending them to him to persuade him. And he kept saying, someone steals your car. And you see him driving it around the town. And you say because he's maintaining the car, he's cleaning the car, keeping up with the car's expenses, he should keep it? Hell no. That's not going to happen. It is his mandate, and he needed to get it back. And he did. It's on record. He claimed his mandate back. I'll keep saying it, obedient. If what you're doing is right, keep doing it, even if your leg is shaking, even if you're the only person standing. If you're standing on the right side of history, keep standing. Nothing is going to stop you. At the end of the day, truth will overshadow the lies, no matter how many or how much it is. Truth will overshadow the light. Keep standing your ground, people. We've come to reclaim our mandate back, and we will, on God, reclaim it back. That is a fact. Ngige paradox is what's going on right now, but on a larger scale. You see medias, you see TV presenters, radio presenters saying all kinds of bullcrap. He's walking already. He has hit the ground running. He's doing what he said he was going to do. He's taking some bold steps. What steps? I don't care if he turns 1 naira to $1. The process that got him there is not legitimate. It's not constitutional. We can't keep hiding behind the fact that he's there already. He's there already. Let it go. The other day, I made a tweet about the judicial system. They're getting threats. They're getting threatened. They're getting blackmailed by the DSS for them to do as they want them to do. And I think DSS came to debunk it. The moment they come out to debunk things like that, they are playing the self-defense on what they actually had in mind. That is exactly what they're trying to do. But guess what? It is not business as usual. And we had the guts to let the judicial system and the justices, we let them know, look, no matter what your crime is, no matter what you've done in the past, any sex tape they're bringing out, any nudes they're bringing out, whatever it is you might have done in the past that they're using right now to blackmail you, you've been forgiven. You have been forgiven. And I have APC people sending me DMs saying, you guys are just hypocrites. If you can forgive the justice, why can't you just forgive Tinubu? Are you listening to imbeciles? Forgive Tinubu? Someone that stole from you. Okay, in the first place, he hasn't even agreed that he stole from you. So what? He hasn't even agreed that he's guilty of anything. So why are you seeking for forgiveness on his behalf? This is how you get to know how demented these people are. How faulty. How mad they are. These are the people we are dealing with. We are accommodating them. But they don't know it. We're fighting for them, but they don't just know it yet. At the end of the day, they will realize it when Peter Obi recovers his mandate back. That's number one. Pastor Boju. You see, Agbalagbo kinse langbalangba. That's a Yoruba proverb. Agba tí ò bá farabalẹ̀, ó máa faragbégbá. If you do anyhow, you go collect. Part of the conformity experiment is them using elders, community leaders, religious leaders to bamboozle people. These are people we look up to while growing up. They are sacred to us. We look at them like, they are the next thing next to God. They are the supreme being. Whatever they say, it's final. The kings, you don't look them in the face. You bow down when they talk. These are the people they send to us now. These are the people they use to suppress us. You can imagine a pastor coming out to say, it's just like a football game. For a starter, it's not a game. It's not a freaking game. This is a matter of national security. It's a matter of life and death. Saying if you have a football team, the coach might not use your best player, but the player that goes there to play, as long as the team wins, that is the point. It's a win-win for the country. Pastor Boju, would you allow someone to come take over your church from you, and start preaching the gospel to people, and start winning souls, and you just let him be, as long as he's winning souls for Jesus, Abi? You guys just come out with your stupid ideas. You just come out and yarn rubbish. It's not business as usual. When we say, parents, listen to your children, and we tell parents, spend money on the education of your kids. Yoruba might say, you hit the fruit of your labor. When they say that, it's not just when the child grows up, it buys you things, gives you money, look after you. No, the child you spent money on to get education has the liberty of educating you as a parent, has the liberty of letting you know the right from wrong. At a point in time, our parents, when they're growing older, they forget. They are going back to the old age. They are going back to becoming a kid. It's your duty to start looking after them, taking care of them, and carrying them along, teaching them, showing them the right way. And we will keep doing that. We will keep doing that. I'm not in good terms with my parents because of Peter Obi. I'm a typical Yoruba man. Both parents, Yoruba. But what is not good is not good. I'm not going to say because I'm a Yoruba, I will stand behind lie. No, it will never happen. It will never happen. They keep telling you it has never happened before in the history of Nigeria to sack a sitting president. That's because we've never had a president with so much baggages. This man reeks of corruption. And he has done the unheard, and he was going to see what will happen. People will be shocked. People will be shocked at what is going to happen in that country. We are setting pace for the whole world. A brother reached out to me yesterday. The Western world knows what is going on in Nigeria. They were asking themselves, who are the obedient? Who are the obedient? Obedient. We are the people standing against the status quo. We have come to stay, and nothing is going to change it. We want nothing but good governance. About the guy, the young lady that did that changed a result for JAM. You can't blame that girl. You cannot blame that girl. I don't really know about the story, but if what is going on is true, that he changed that, you cannot blame that girl. That girl needs a good lawyer. If you can use Tipex to change results on election day, if you can use blue pen to change a result written in black pen, obviously, and people can see that, that girl needs to sue JAM. That girl needs to sue anybody suable in that country. Because you guys have set a terrible example. You set a standard. I've said it before. When they did their rubbish, I said it a couple of months ago. I said very soon, secondary school kids, you can start changing your results now with pen. You go home and you go even sign next to the result. You take it home and show your parents and let them know this is what you got. Take them to, make them carry you go court. That is the precedent we're setting right now. That is the example we're showing people coming behind of us. We have decided to stand in the light, and we will keep standing. Nothing is going to change it. Tinubu is not the president of that country. He is not recognized as the president. There is no rerun. There is no rerun. He has already hit the ground running. He is not running anything again. He is not rerunning anything again. Peter Obi won that election clean and clear. And we are getting our mandate back. Obedient. Let that sink in. Let's create an hashtag. No freaking rerun. We've done it already. We're not wasting any more money. We're standing on the ones on ground right now. That is what we are using. In Tamalonie, what is on ground right now is what we use. Judicial system, finally. You know what is right to do. You know the right thing to do. If you're being blackmailed, if they are holding your kids ransom, if they've kidnapped any of your family member, someone has done that before. And look at how it ended. Okonjo-Iweala, the mother was kidnapped. When she tried to stand in their way, the petroleum cabals, they kidnapped her mother. And they told her to change that policy so they can release the mother. She was hurt. This is to show you how ready you are to fight corruption, because it's going to fight back. She was hurt. She cried. She spoke to her father about it. And the father said, you know what? Your mother is over 80 years old. If they want to kill her, that means it's our time. Let that be the sacrifice you're making for this country. She stood her ground. Do you understand what that is? She stood her ground and she said, anything you want to do to that woman, do it. I don't care. I'm standing on my ground. And she did. Luckily, the woman escaped. Are you ready? Are you ready to sacrifice? Are you ready to face the repercussion? Are you ready to face whatever happens to you? Nobody won't die, but you want a better country. It's not going to work. I keep saying it. If this movement is going to be what I will die on, I will. And I will do it. I will do it bravely. I would rather die a man than live like a coward. No. Obedient. Stand your ground. You're on a good course. Whatever it is coming now, face it. Face it. It is now or never. There is no rerun. You cannot win any election with these guys. You can never win any. Don't even think about it. If they come up with that judgment as a miscarriage of justice, go to the streets and claim your mandate back. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be unruly. We just want a good governance. And we voted for one. You stole it. We want it back. Thank you for listening to my rant. I always wake up angry because they stole from us. It's still like a deja vu. I wake up every single morning remembering that day, how people were, it was like an emergency center. It was like a 911 center. People were calling left, right, and center. They've attacked us. No ballot paper. They are killing people here. They are fighting here. It's disturbing. I still have that ring in my head. I still remember. I will never forget that. The only thing I can do now to console myself is getting that mandate back. I lost my brother a couple of months ago. I've not even started mourning. I have these in front of me right now. At the point in time, I will look back and be like, yes, this movement kept me going. I had a reason to be angry every single day because I see APC like the ones that killed my brother. Obedient, stand your ground. We will get our mandate back. On God we will. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. I yield the mic.
Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm so happy. All the things I cannot say, how I cannot rant as a co-host or a host, I get people like Jimmy Dunke to do it on my behalf. Thank you so much. I loved your submission. I was spot on. Obedient, stand your ground. We won this election. By the way, Jimmy, you're owing us 10,000. You used the F word. So, yeah. Oh, they say it's 15K. If it's you and Duke is 15,000. So you're owing us. Wait me. Oh, no cost before you go increase now. And then.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Tony, thank you for accepting the co-host. Do you have something to say before we go to Chimede?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lami. Wow. Jimmy, what an amazing submission. Thank you so much for that. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. But before I proceed, I would like to extend my greetings to everyone on this space today. Distinguished Oluchi, I see you right there. Thank you so much. UC Maxwell, Lami, for holding the fort. I thank you all so much. It's been a journey. It's really been a journey. It's been a long way coming up until now. I just would like to add a few things to what Jimmy said, because his submission pretty much captured everything I have been thinking for a very, very long time, like always. He touched a subject that I talked about yesterday, which was the concept of Omoluabi. I could not explain it as much as Jimmy did today, but I would like to expand it a little bit more, particularly as it relates to Pastor Boju, I believe was his name. Now, in the true sense of an Omoluabi, I'm pretty sure Jimmy would agree with me that that pastor himself does not even live up to those values as we know it. As a Yoruba man and as someone who was born and grew up in the Yoruba land and knowing the true value of an Omoluabi, he does not come 5% close to it. So there is no reason whatsoever for us to listen to whatever he says. I'm trying to be careful not to use curse words in order not to be fined as well. So I will just keep it simple that way. Now, my fellow obedience, day in, day out, the past couple of days, we've been hearing this R word. And I talked about it again yesterday. UC Maxwell talked about it. There is no such thing, or something like that would never happen. Jimmy equally touched it as well, and a host of other speakers. We need to bury that idea completely. Let's just not bring it up at all anymore. We control the space. And given the facts on the ground, there is no reason whatsoever for that to even come into play or be a subject of discourse amongst us to start with. So my appeal again to my fellow obedience, please, Stop going to places where you have the tendency to hear the wrong information and you're running back here to ask for questions. Is that possible or is it not possible? Listen to well-meaning Nigerian presentation. Listen to UC Maxwell. Listen to General Oluchi. Read their tweets. Wake up, finally. We are on the right path, for crying out loud. When we started this journey, did anyone ever even, did we ever think it was going to be easy at all? We're talking about dislodging career politicians, criminals, those who made it their personal desire, career ambition to keep us perpetually underdeveloped. 1% or maybe less than that. Throwing them out of office was never going to be easy. And even when we are done reclaiming our mandate, we still have a truckload of work ahead of us. Yeah. Lamid knows that I'm seriously focused on the National Assembly. UC Maxwell knows where I stand on that. That's why I always look forward to the National Assembly space. But that's a different story for another day. For now, our focus is our mandate. We are getting it. Given all the evidences before the court, there is just no way the court can look at all of these evidences before them and say, okay, yes, he did this, yes, he did that, yes, he did this, but yet he won the elections. It's just not possible. Rest your minds, please, those that are still doubting the process. Listen to what PO said. We are challenging the process. Challenging the process means we are filtering through every single nail and broom along the way to make sure that the process was pure. To be the president, the path through which you get there must be excellent. To quote PO, let's believe in that process. Believe in our learned silk and what they've been doing. And let's all stay strong and work together. Continue the fight. The journey, or rather, the journey of a lifetime, always starts with the first step. I thank you all once again and welcome to the 1 Million Man March crew space again. And Lamin, I hand over to you for now. Thank you very much. Lamin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Please, if you can carry on for a moment.
All right.
Please.
I don't know the cue you set already. If you have a cue.
Is supposed to go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Chimezie, please go.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear
Loud
me?
and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. I want to appreciate everybody for the struggle. It has not been easy. So, Mami, Weyemi, UC Maxwell, Jimmy, the man where go hit Kweju at the right time. Kweju made that tweet in less than 5 minutes. Jimmy released a ballistic missile on his TL and he started blocking everybody. That particular tweet made Kweju go mad. And I love it because these clergies, they believe that they are just talking. I don't even know the kind of mindset they even have personally, because you are teaching people something and you think that these people are not assimilating, they are not developing, they are just there, they are just your stooge that when you talk, they are waiting is for you to give a command. Most of the times I get so disappointed with what is happening in our nation, because the corruption we are talking about is not only in political corridor. It cut across the religious arena, the traditional rulers arena, the ministries and parastatals of government. So even in the family. So the thing is so bad that the obedience movement is trying to crack the pillars and foundations that are holding them together. They are one family. So in that tweet, I have imagined and I've reasoned so much. Why is he trying to push back against obedience? Why is everybody talking about obedience, not talking about all that has happened in this short time of political setting?
I can't hear him.
Please,
Mr.
sorry,
Tony, can you
I
hear
think
him?
I mistakenly I mistakenly muted everyone. Sorry about that, please.
Okay. Please go on, Mr.
Okay, I can hear you now. I didn't know. Oh, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Proceed.
yeah. So as I was saying, the whole matter is just tiring, but the obedience has been steadfast. There has been consistent. We have been formidable. That every tantrum thrown at us is replied with immediate effect and more than what they wanted to achieve. So it has all been terrible for them, and we are going to reclaim our mandate. On the topic, many reasons to disqualify BAT. Somebody wrote on one of the tweets, Sam Amadi or so, he said that nobody has been this bad. Nobody has this kind of history of crimes, bad behavior, and so many things, and rose to become the president of Nigeria. So, what it is today is that there is no remedy for the interim president. He will surely be disqualified if judiciary is ready to bear the pain, because there will be pain coming against the judiciary. The DSS saga has happened and they have debunked it. But I tell you, anytime this government is telling you that something is not true, know that it is true. And I will give you instances. During primary election, a circular went out that if this man emerged as the presidential flag bearer of APC, is certainly going to pick a Muslim as the vice president. And they sent their own circular and debunked it. But what do we have later in the day? It happened, and they become the president. And all these things are still not clear for all the mumus wey full the media houses and the traditional rulers that are telling us to let it go. So there are very good ground, and EU report has given them a soft landing. So even if they do it, everybody will know that EU has done the whole job. They just handed over a finishing touch to the judiciary to do what they are supposed to do. So there is no hiding place for anybody to say that this is the reason we didn't do this. It has never happened before and all this thing. The EU report alone is a standpoint for them to just do the person that won the election. It is very, very easy. Lastly, a lot of things is still going to come up. They have
Can anyone hear him?
I think he keeps getting a call.
against them.
Yeah, I think a call is disrupting him. Mr. Chimeze, you're receiving a call?
Can you hear me?
You're receiving a call,
They are
right?
very certain that this thing is really going to happen. So what they are trying to push is propaganda that we
Mr. Chimeze, I'll suggest.
I think we should take the conversation forward.
So they are just looking for a soft landing where they will make something happen.
Chimeze, hold on a second, please.
So, but for disqualification, that is sure. And they are away. All their supporters are away. Thank you.
Thank you, Chimezie. You just rounded up just right on time. Can everyone hear me? Jimmy, can you still hear me? Awesome.
Yeah. I can hear
Thank
you
you
loud
very
and clear.
much. So, I think the next, but thank you so much for that submission. You touched on a whole lot of salient points, and absolutely, there was just more than enough information out there to know what could happen. Yeah, what could pass. But those who thought that we were fighting our own cause, they stood against us. But now it's beginning to open up slowly, and people are beginning to see the reality on the ground. And anyway, we will stand our ground moving forward and do what we need to do. No doubt about that. We will get our mandate back. Anyway, let me not hog the mic. We have a lot of requests. Mr. Ejikeme, please. The floor is yours.
Mr. Tony, let me drop so you can bring.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you. All right, Ejikeme, please go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak once again. The reasons to disqualify this criminal drug baron, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's enormous. Like, we can start from his sexual disparity in abroad. In America, he was male. He was female, and in Nigeria, he is male. Right? His certificate speaks volume. He will be disqualified from the different prayers of the different petitioners in court. PDP will disqualify him. Labour Party will disqualify him. But the most important aspect of this particular situation that Nigerians have found themselves is the fact that the candidate himself that is being sought to be disqualified is not the person on trial. It is the judiciary that is on trial. It is on record that CJN Ariwola had given a judgment and had given a verdict on what forfeiture is. Right? I didn't have all the time and space to vent the way I wanted to vent yesterday at the violence space, and unfortunately here where we are obviously curtailed by the kind of words that we use. But I must say that the judiciary must not insult the sensibilities of Nigerians. That is one critical aspect that they must, MUST underline capital in red biro. They must not insult the integrity and sensibility of Nigerians by seeing what is clearly black and wanting to give it a white color. So they are the ones on trial. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not on trial. That last democratic hope before the common man takes laws into his hands. They are the ones on trial. And just like we say in violence space, let them mess around and find out whether Nigerians would be happy with them, right? So there is no gainsaying the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be disqualified. He was not qualified in the first place to run this election with people like Peter Obi and the other candidates. He is not qualified at all. He didn't make what was required to stand for a councillorship election in Nigeria. He's a thief. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a criminal. There is no doubt about that. He's a thief. If I say it, I will be saying it with my full chest. But you see, the old generation and the old order, our parents, they were unfortunately cowards. Majority of them tried. Oh yes, I give it to them. But they didn't do much, to root out this less than 1% population that we have in Nigeria that have ruined that country, that have destroyed Nigeria. So that is where I give kudos and salute to my generation, the coconut head generation. Yes, it is us, the headless mob. We are the ones that will call out the traditional rulers. We are the ones that will call out the religious leaders. We are the ones that will call out these terrorist politicians and criminals that we have running the affairs of Nigeria for all these donkey years. It is us that are doing it. People like Jimmy, people like General Lucci, people like Pels, so many of them, 1 million Nigerians, Lamin, and Kadede. Look at all the hours that we spend on space. Drumming it into the ears of Nigerians and drumming it into the ears of this criminal judiciary that they must do the right thing. For the first time in our life, we have seen a case that this criminal cannot wriggle out of. You can't run away from this. So that is why it is good for them to take this bribe. This might be the last bribe they will get from this criminal element. Take the bribe. Our reverse justices, take it and do the right thing. Your heads will not fall. Just disqualify this guy and you will see how Nigerians will support you. We're not telling you to do it because you're under compulsion to do it. No, you are doing it because it is the right judgment. This guy didn't qualify to stand this election. Don't insult Nigerians who are both in the diaspora and at home. Doing what it takes to keep Nigeria flying. What is happening currently, if you guys don't know, Peter Obi has been on a congratulatory spree of distinguished Nigerians across the globe, making Nigeria proud. Everybody is happy about it, not minding the diverse divides that they come from. Igbos, Yorubas, South, Northerners, all of them doing very well. It gives joy. It gives serious joy, you know. So judiciary, they cannot do Mesoma what they did to that lady simply because she allegedly inflated her jam scores, and her name is a common name right now in Nigeria. While the number one citizen, the supposed number one citizen of the whole country, is a criminal. We are at best, hypocrites and sycophants. So the judiciary, it is imperative of you to do the right thing, to pass the right judgment. And like I said yesterday, in the 1 minute I was giving yesterday in the violence space, it is going to be a unanimous judgment because I am yet to see the criminal judge that will give Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the convicted criminal drug baron, even a dissenting judgment. I would like to read what that judge will write. And of course, that will be the end of his career, his or her career. So it is very clear. It is very, very clear. I have been saying it. It will be a unanimous judgment on Tinubu's disqualification. So if he likes, and whether his wife like it or not, let them go and bring down Angel Gabriel from heaven and make dollar to naira one. 1 naira equals to $1. The process that brought you to that position is far more fundamental than what you do afterwards. This is the words, I am paraphrasing the words of my principal, Peter Obi. It is far more fundamental. So whatever he does there, for those who think that he's doing well, for those who think, even though I have not seen anything he has done, he has thrown more people into poverty in the very short illegal time he has been in office. Look at the number of people that died in Plateau State. Look at the killing in Benue. Are we mad in this country? So there is no doubt that he will be disqualified. All I am hoping is that SAN Olanipekus should do fast. He should do fast with his response. Let us not prolong this criminal's misery. We should send him from Asorok to jail. That is how we are supposed to do it. If they can be very, very fast at, sending Mesoma to the gallows, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should face the same fate. That is the way we know that Nigerians have actually arrived. And that is how we place Nigeria on that right focus and that right trajectory of greatness. Then, of course, it also goes even down, deep into Enugu State, Lagos State, and all the places that we have strong cases. The judiciary are the people on trial, not all these, criminal elements parading up and down. And whatever this guy does, let us not amplify it. It's a criminal that is already in that position illegally and unconstitutionally. All the decisions he has taken they'll be thrown into the trash, because there's nothing that can come from a criminal. A criminal cannot come and break into your home, do so many things, defile your children, and then take care of them later, and you clap for that criminal. That is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants us to do. We're not going to allow that. So for me, all eyes must be on the judiciary. He will be disqualified, and it will be 5/5 at the PET and the unanimous judgment at the Supreme Court. That is how we will know that Nigerians have said no to forgery. Nigerians have said no to criminality. And all these problems Nigerians are seeing right now will be over. The Egyptians we see today, we shall see them no more. Thank you very much. I yield the mic, and congratulations once again, Obidien.
Ejikeme, thank you so very much. That was a very, very beautiful submission. You see, the truth is that you actually nailed everything on its head. If you recall, when our principal came out, he talked about destroying the structure of criminality. Now, you see, that structure of criminality was exactly what brought Tinubu into the picture as a whole. And that is the structure that we are standing against. That is the same structure that we will face moving forward after we have reclaimed our mandate. Remember, we cannot bring it down in one day. So, thank you so much for that submission. Keep your head up. You did the right thing. Thank you so much. Lamin, can we set up a new queue, please? I see only one hand up. That is MKJ. Would you oblige me with that, please?
If you want to say something, please just raise your hands. But before we go, I'd like to just read some few tweets under our comment section. Some comments, sorry. One, Obidati Queen said, make una retweet now. Wait, see happen. Somebody said, Bad said it's his ambition to be a president. Yes. Well, we have our ambition in life, but if we contest and lose, you step aside. You don't collude with INEC and announce you as a winner. You can't force yourself on Nigerians because of your ambition. I want to sleep with. Okay, I'll pass on that. But we don't all get what we want in life. I don't want to say what the person said because this is Tinubu's baggage is too many, obvious and simple for anybody that wants to do justice. Tinubu has no business holding any political position in Nigeria, not even councillor for by level of criminality. Like someone said, we don't need to beg the judges. They have no choice here. Another person said, please go to disqualification of Tinubu is paramount. Yes, it is. Our very empathetic president. Somebody is hailing our PO. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Mayusi Maxwell, Kandake, Wemi, Duncan, Field Marshal, Kolade, Quincy, Sister Bolanle, Ogajimi, Wemi, Nigeria, Ejikeme, all the Obedient family. I'm going for a meeting. We'll join you back after. Thank you so much. We'll be expecting you. Very good that document. Okay, very good. That document of fraudulent activities of some corrupt judges, politician is urgently indeed. I don't know what this person said. Is urgently needed. Good idea. Hit them on all levels. All right, let's just carry on with the space. We have too many tweets, comments. I can't read everything. I'll come back to it. Please share the space. Somebody said, share the space now. Waiting happen. Share the space. It's not going to eat another data. Share it. It will not kill you. Share it. Okay, let's have, we have MKJ. Okay, and I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Origosaki, in that order. Mr. President, take that one.
MJ. Jimmy, I want to salute your courage. I really, really salute your courage. I understand what it is to stand your ground, even in the face of opposition from your parents. I'm a Yoruba person. Honestly, I understand how it is. You are one in a million. It goes to show that whatever it is, we still have people that, uphold integrity, honesty. Honestly, I'm really, 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 really overwhelmed by your attitude, your steadfastness, your tenacity as far as this obedience movement is concerned, and as far as the truth that can never be controverted is concerned. You spoke about Omoluabi, and I think somebody else also corroborated it and all that. In Yoruba land, the entire Yoruba land in the West, that Omoluabi mantra is very, very fundamental. Right from inception, right from, way back. You hear something like, there was a music back then, to baka were battery adun ko ba, to baka were battery adun sherere nile. These are the things that we grew up with. There's another one, they will say, Oruko rere osanju wura ati fadaka lo, meaning good name is better than gold and silver. These are the things that we grew up with. I don't understand. Over the years, about 20 years, 25 years, since these people came on board politically, they started overturning this thing. Please, I don't know if people have noticed this. In the past, in some years back in the day, the Southwest, one of the things that the Southwest uphold, that they are very, very well known for, is education. Go anywhere, they will say, it's Yoruba people, especially Ekiti, Ondo, Ogun State. They don't even go near there. They are very, very educated. They are this and that. Have you noticed that all of that now has been eroded? What you see in your area, if you go to your area, just have little tertiary, just be doing well. Just be doing well. They notice that you're doing well. Everywhere you see, Tuale Baba. These are youths that are supposed to be going to school. They don't even care about education anymore. They don't even want to know. And you have people up there that are promoting and elevating these things. And you want people to keep quiet. They want to turn Nigeria. They want to ensure that every part of Nigeria, you understand, is kept under them. Every part of Nigeria turns into, whatever it is that the evil that they are planning and all that. It's very, 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 very unfortunate. Sometimes I tell Yoruba people, you people don't realize, is this the dream of Awolowo back then? Is this the agenda of Awolowo? Look at Yoruba land now. Educationally in those days, in JAMB, in SSC, you see them coming top. Go and check how many years back have they been top. Have they been on top of maybe JAMB and WAEC and what have you educationally? Everything is being eroded and they are looking on. You see them, the political elite, agree, elevating talks, elevating agberoism and what have you. People now look up to such people. They no longer look up to, credible, educated. In Yoruba land, if you don't go to school, it's either you are going to school, or you are learning you are an artist and you are learning they call it Isheowo, you are learning a work or something, mechanic, what have you, painting. You must be doing something. Just like the Igbos, if you don't go to school, you learn a trade. The same thing in Yoruba land. All of that now has gone down the drain. And I keep telling them, you people are not sensitive. You are not watching. The Yoruba land, the Yoruba people, they are going down. And unfortunately, a lot of Yoruba people have bought into this because of sentiment, because of tribalism and what have you. Look around you and look at what we are saying. But they are not seeing it. It's unfortunate. Some years down the line now, some years to come, you will see the effect of this thing will be more and more grievous. It will be very, very open. Well, we started seeing the effect now. The MC Oluomo, those are the kind of people that young people look up to in the West now, in Yoruba land. I've done my research. I've gone around. These are the things that the youth of the Yoruba land are looking up to, unfortunately. And yet you come, even the educated elite, there is some kind of conspiracy of silence. They are not talking. The people that we know that we know. Some of them, the obedient have even dragged their name in recent time. They are not talking to all of that. Keeping quiet because they have an interest in one particular person that will soon, I don't know, that have limited time to even live. Is he going to live for another 30 years? Very, very unfortunate. But Jimmy, I salute your courage. Thank you very, very much. I understand what you are going through. It's not easy. I'm telling you, especially when you have parents that wouldn't understand. Although they were the one that told us that when growing up that truth, you must be truthful, you must be honest, you must not do this. If you bring something home that does not belong, they will ask you questions. All of that now, I don't know where it has all gone to. But thank you very much. Let us emulate this kind of behavior. This is what we need for a new Nigeria. Thank you very much. I yield.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was a very good one. You really broke it down. A round of applause, really. Thank you very much. So let's keep the conversation going. I see only one hand up, Arrigo Saki. So I think we have a queue already, right, Lamin? So is it Arrigo Saki that goes next or NK Dixon?
Uncle, Mr. Tony, it's up to you. I think I already called the queue.
Okay,
So
Arrigo Saki, please go. And after you, Dixon, please, if your hand is not up, I'm gonna have to drop you because I have a lot of, or rather, we have a lot of requests right now. So, Arrigo Saki, the mic is yours, please.
Yeah, can
Loud
you hear
and
me?
clear.
Oh, wonderful. Good day, obedience, and good day, everyone. In a very special way, may I use this opportunity to appreciate obedience like UC Maxwell and others who have made enormous sacrifice in this movement. Those that have been following the court process, going to court every day, read over best, people that are making their scholarly contributions on the proceedings in courts, and well-meaning Nigerians that want to stand for good governance. And we encourage everyone to keep on rekindling these lights on daily basis. Nigeria must have to succeed. Nigeria must have to retain itself among the Committee of Nations. Nigeria is a very big country with enormous potentials, with huge talents lurking beneath it. But regrettably, our past leadership have tended to frustrate these efforts. So we must always stand on the path of truth, on the path of good governance, and we'll keep on keeping on. Yeah, quickly, let me just submit two things quickly. The first is going to be on the posture taken by certain pastors in Nigeria. And I want to allay my fears and my utter disappointments in what Christianity tended to have become in our national life. I wouldn't say everybody, I wouldn't generalize, but because of a greater portion of certain practice of Christianity, it appears to me that there appears to be some kind of cankerworm that has entered that very circle and want to use that very circle to corrupt the minds of the people. I think the way Christianity in Nigeria appears to be going in these modern times, especially a greater percentage of that, I think it appears to be going in a very dangerous dimension, and that is why some things I see some men of God, do in Nigeria today, it appears to me as if it is not that Christianity I used to know. It appears to me that Christianity in Nigeria has been elevated to become a mere exaggerated interpretations of the charisma given by the Spirit, according to Bishop Ona, instead of, the real essence of what it should be. You know, I will want to encourage Nigerian pastors. If you know you want to become a pastor in Nigeria, don't just wake up one day and say God called you. I will encourage you to do a lot of studies. Do philosophical studies, do theological studies, spend a lot of time in school, at least to acquire formal education, you know, to be able to know what to say and when to talk. You know, I think I will want to also encourage all these pastors, if they can, they should emulate, you know, the pattern of some churches like Catholic Church. You know, I know Catholic Church is not perfect in my view, but as a Catholic, I think I know that before you become a Reverend Father in the Catholic Church, you have to spend at least 17 good years, you know, in school, from your secondary school to your philosophical studies of 4 years to your theology of another 4 years. And in that very studies, they normally do a course they call homiletics. Homiletics is a course that deals with sermons, how to preach, what to say. It has to be studied, because most of these pastors, they will mount the pulpit and they will begin to say anything, talk anyhow. You know, sermon is a science and also an art. You know, you have to guard yourself. You have to know what to say, when to say it. So I will encourage these pastors that are coming up now, you know, to toe the line of studying the course called homiletics. It's a course. I will encourage them so that they wouldn't come and begin to, you know, they should know, of course, pastors are also part of the pastors are human beings. They are also part of political beings. But at the same time, there is a line that should be drawn, you know, on the way you dabble into politics to corrupt the minds of the youth. You know, if you want to come into politics, then you have to always say the truth. So that is what I will encourage pastors to do. And then finally, what I wanted to say is just a very simple question. I will direct it to you, Sim, as well. So my question is like, you know, by next week we're expecting the APC to submit their reply. You know, this reply, just you know, when Labour submitted their petition, we started seeing the petition online, reading it, talking about it. Is this one something that is gonna be a public document when they submit it finally, or is it going to be like people are not allowed to, you know, talk on that on spaces the way we were analyzing the Labour petition when the petition was submitted, because it was submitted and suddenly we saw it online and we started analyzing it, and then when APC gave their reply, we also saw the reply online. So this final address, is it something that, like, is it a document that must be classified in the sense that, you know, no one should be able to see it until Labour has replied, so something like that? I don't know whether he gets the picture of my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harigosaki. But I think, you see, Maxwell, did you get the question? Maybe you see is busy for now. But please hang around. When you see is back, we'll surely have his answer to that question. Keep that thought in mind, Harigosaki, please. Thank you very much. Dixon, you've been raising your hand for a long time. I hope it's not hurting now. Please go ahead. No. The space is yours.
My hand is not hurting. It can't be hurting now.
Go ahead, please.
I'm streaming from Nigeria, so I'll say good afternoon to everyone. So you apply to your time line there. I think a lot of people have seen and made some salient points. So I'll just see how I both rest on some while I rest my case. So these are some of the things that we have come to notice. I can understand MK's pain because while growing up, my early 30s, we had family values. We had parents who would tell us what was wrong and what was right. So because they thought that we were headed the wrong way, so they tried to tilt us and bend us into certain ideals and value systems that they thought and knew were good for us growing up. It is now amazing to see us try to bend our parents back to the same values that they used to inculcate. So the question now is, why didn't you just leave us to go astray? Why do you teach us these things that you cannot keep anymore? Why do you people give us this kind of beliefs that life could be right? And then we try to make life right and see that everything is wrong. Why there are a lot of whys, especially here. I've not been out yet, but I think that Nigeria has lost a lot of value systems culturally, morally, in terms of, I'm not sure there was a time we've ever been blessed with leadership. I don't know why, but that too has been a flaw. Even in the church, the value systems are just changing. I understand the pain of every single obedient speaking this afternoon. It's funny, but what can we do? I think this is a step in the right direction. That we are having forums like this, we have somebody who we even believe is still holding on to the same ideals that our parents used to hold on to. I'm not here to smash Tinubu. I don't know him in person, so I don't have anything personal with him. The personal thing I have is that the mandate should be taken from whoever they gave it to and given to the right person. I think we have gone past this. The judiciary should be wise enough to do the right thing. I trust that they should be wise enough to do the right thing. We had a space yesterday and I told them that Peter Obi is not the poor that they'll say judgment is against the poor in Nigeria. If you mention poor people, they dare you not to put Peter Obi as a poor man. He's not a poor man. So this is a contest between two rich people, wealthy people, or three wealthy people, as we may see the parties that contested as the top ranked parties in Nigeria. But this is what it is. Okay, I think that Nigeria has failed us enough. And at this point, all eyes are just on the judiciary. I would also suggest that maybe we have posters, or maybe we have flyers on Twitter that comes up with the judiciary and then Peter Obi. Let's see how we can flaunt these things day in, day out. If there's an official one that can come out, so we pick it, run it with hashtag, and make sure maybe you tweet it twice or thrice. I deliberately had to check the wallpaper of most of us here to see that we are still carrying Peter Obi as our DP, or we have them on our wallpaper, whatever name they would call it on Twitter. It shows that we believe in what we say. But if you've been strong enough to pull out those things that stood like evidence because you think the elections is done with, I don't think it's true. I think we still need those flyers, we still need those tweets, we still need those this thing, what's it called now? Publicity, whatever we can harness. Let's still mount pressure. There was a period of time that Peter Obi was trending for 10 months. Let's not stop it. If you search on your Twitter, you should see hashtag judiciary, because we are still working on it. I know that there's reasons for people to feel tired. That's why we have spaces like this. So you come in and then you get encouraged, and then we go out there and keep pushing. Because for you to bind a strong man, you must be stronger. And we don't need weakness at this point. I think we have done a lot. I salute the courage of every single obedient at this point. We're doing quite well. Whether as an Igbo man, I'm an Akwa Ibomite, and I respect every other tribe. This has nothing to do with tribalism.